Good morning, everyone. Let's see. Are we live? Are we broadcasting? It looks like the volume is coming through. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Joanna. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Marcy. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Allison. Allison says, don't forget to like the stream. Like the stream so the algorithms are happy. If you're watching on the YouTube, if you're watching on any other application, YouTube has the quickest chat. It's about 2-3 seconds behind. So please hop on over to youtube.com/KevinLeeFather if you want to have the quickest chat. Otherwise, just wherever you are, if you chat in your platform, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, whatever, it ends up posting over there in the chat room. So your comments do get heard. And this is about you guys. This isn't about me. This is a political revolution. This is our founding father. We're going to watch a little bit of CPAC here. Pompeo speaking. We're not going to watch much. We might just watch Pompeo and be done with it because this is essentially the beginning of the day on Saturday. Nothing happens. This is where they put people because they want them there, and the real diehards will be there. But typically on a Friday night at CPAC, any convention, everybody's out there partying, so no one's really paying much attention to what's going on. So we'll watch a little bit of. Let's see, I got to make that full screen. Watch a bit of, not Mike Pence. I say Mike Pence. It's Mike Pompeo. Hi, Doctor. Marcy. Good to see you. Yoshi, hello. I just saw someone say first. It's got to be David. Congratulations, David, on being first. Let's just dive into Mike Pompeo. I'm going to come back later. We're going to do just probably Pompeo, and then I'll come back later. I think around 1 o'clock. Pacific time, which is 4 o'clock Eastern time today. We'll do a little bit more. We'll definitely cover some of Trump's speech tomorrow. That's really what this is all about. Everyone's just waiting for that. I don't know if anyone wants to hear what Mike Pompeo has to say. We will. We'll listen a little bit. We'll give him a chance. Just to hear what idiocy he comes up with. Hi, Steph. Hi, Sheep. How you doing? Let's get this thing going. So we'll do a little bit, and then we'll do a little bit more later. And we're going to want volume. There we go.
Greeting.
Get rid of the song.
It's always a blessing and a little bit unnerving to have your son at the podium. Look, I look out here and I see you all. I feel really at home. And thank you for that. Last year I came here as America's 70th Secretary of State, President Trump's Secretary of State. And before that I was here as a member of Congress from South Central Kansas. Yeah, go Kansas. But this is different. This time's different. In the last few months, we've been called clowns and deplorables and ignorant and rednecks. We've been called the evil resistance. The New York Times thinks I'm the worst Secretary of State of all time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, the judges agree.
Yeah, since I last saw you, the Chinese have sanctioned me. The Iranians don't think so much of me either. But I'm proud of our fight, and I'm proud of our accomplishments, and that we have truly upended the status quo.
His mom won't return his phone calls. Hey, Janice.
We've demonstrated enormous resistance to socialism.
Oh, yeah, Janice, come back another time. Hi, Jessica. Good to see you. Hi, Allison. Did I say hi? I think I said Allison twice. That's okay. We'll allow it. Judges? No, I'm not allowed to say hi to Allison twice. Wow. Okay. Judges are in the mood today. Let's keep going with Pompeo.
To the woke cancel
culture. There they are. You guys. I can say hi to Allison twice. They were leaving me hanging here. It's Saturday. They don't like coming out on a Saturday. Working on the Sabbath, 2 of them.
Some about that.
Morning, Chef Rob.
We resist seeing our liberty and our freedoms slipping away. This is a noble, worthy fight, and we're in it.
Phyllis Hatch says, when is he going to be charged for all his Hatch violations and misuse of funds? And Phyllis Hatch should know. The law is named after her. Hey, Green Room.
We fought hard. We
fought
for it hard on nearly every front, and we will always fight for it. I remember when they were calling us disruptors and that said they were against the establishment. We said, of course. Now I want to tell a story.
He's such a weasel, though, right? Just his delivery. It's like he's a cartoon character. If there was, what were the weasels? The ones in Roger Rabbit? Were they weasels? I think they were weasels. The the henchmen and Roger Rabbit. Weren't they a bunch of weasels? Hey, Collins Jacksons. Hey, Allison. A third time. Do you guys remember Roger Rabbit? Is Todd Stubler in the room? He knows all things Disney. Weren't they weasels? Disney. That's whatever they were. That's what Mike Pompeo is.
I think I come by this disruption and shooting straight very naturally. And
okay.
my grandpa's name was Earl Mercer.
That was Right Side Broadcasting just going to their outside table booth. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. They're probably as bored with Pompeo as we are.
Now, Grandpa Earl always said what was on his mind. He was pretty rough cut from Kansas. He worked hard.
And we're back.
We're
back
in
again.
Mitchell County.
Now I kind of want to know what's going on the table outside.
But when the going was tough...
By the way, originally I had, I know, but Roger Rabbit, it's on Disney Plus. So I just watched it recently. I haven't watched it. I enjoyed Roger Rabbit when it first came out. But remember how like, oh my God, look, it's cartoons with live action. Oh, look at this is amazing. Now it looks amateurish. But I miss the classic animation. I really do. I just said that to sound cool. I don't know. I have all the classic animation stored over with my vinyl record collection. That's all I listen to. I refuse, because you miss so much of the hiss and the pop and the cracks when you listen to it on CD. You guys remember CDs? Yes, weasels. Yeah, Dennis, big weasel fan. Did we ever have weasels in the park, Dennis? Dennis knows all about the Disneyland.
I wanted Grandpa Earl around in the 1930s.
I love the Goonies. By the way, this animation and kid movie talk is way more interesting than Pompeo, so we might just sidetrack into that.
Grandpa Earl was the sheriff of Mitchell County, Kansas.
Okay.
Population today, a little bit less than 6,500. My mother, Dorothy, was one of Earl's and Grace's 10 kids. I had an Uncle Richard. He was the last of the lot.
Yeah, that's everybody went gaga for Roger Rabbit when it's like, no, remember Mary and Bert were dancing with the penguins in the park? It's a jolly holiday with Mary.
And he was going to run for re-election as sheriff.
We should have had weasels.
Richard decided that...
God, it would have been fun to have a weasel at Disneyland. Like they do in the parade department. Dennis knows what I'm talking about.
You know, there was good money. There was really good money in homemade gin. So he built a still in the basement bedroom. Everything was good. Both the campaign and the bootleg business, all good. Until a still exploded in the basement. It blew up the basement and the campaign. Grandpa Earl was a one-term sheriff in Mitchell County. He moved his family to a little further south, where he raised my mother in Wellington, where he opened a pool hall.
One of the first movies, actually, with special effects was, now I forget the title of it, but it was it was live action mixed with claymation, or whatever the technique was used. And remember that they shoot a rocket ship that lands in the moon, and the man in the moon, it like lands in his eye. Have you guys ever seen that? Maybe that was just me tripping out. I don't know. Tom and Jerry Dance with Gene Kelly as well. Yeah.
How's that for going from sheriff to the pool hall operator?
Meanwhile, Mike Pompeo's just telling us about his family's criminal history. So thanks for that. Well, what should I talk about? Hell if I know.
In Kansas. I tell this story because I think there's a couple things that those of us who believe, those of us who've been part of the conservative movement for so long, can learn from this. First,
what was my favorite character from the Goonies was the kid that they kept locked up, or maybe he was a grown-up by that time. What was his name? Not Gump. Something like that. Bedknobs and Broomsticks was amazing. And I haven't seen Bedknobs and Broomsticks since I was somewhere between 4 and 6 years old. I saw it in Whitehorse, Yukon. And To the Moon and Back Again might have been the very first one. Yeah. I don't remember the name of it, but somebody can Google that if they want to. Chunk! Yes! Chunk! I love Chunk. Maybe on Friday we'll watch The Goonies. It's been so long. If without any objections, for our Zoom movie on Friday, maybe we'll watch The Goonies. Everybody's invited. I can't get enough Chunk.
He was a great sheriff, and he was regarded as such because he never tried to be anything.
Who came out of that movie? Is anybody, like, you know how what were they, the Shawns, or there were a couple of heartthrobs that came out of that movie. What were they down? Come on, there were two of them. Or maybe that's Stand By Me that they came out of. But there were two of them, and they both got involved in drugs. But did anybody come out of Goonies that is now big? You guys remember? One of those, where are they now? Chunk wasn't the fat kid. Was he? Oh, who was the character that he was deformed? There was something wrong with him, and he belonged to the evil lady. The Coreys. Yeah, the Coreys. Is anybody, well, I've seen The Princess Bride 400 times, Dr. Howard. Did anybody come out of the Goonies? I know the Coreys were big, but is anybody still around? Josh Brolin was in that? Was Josh Brolin a kid? Well, Josh is big, obviously. Josh is amazing. What a fantastic talent. He's also Thanos. Sean Astin. I don't know that I know Sean Astin. What do I know Sean Astin from? Well, let's just look it up. Hold on. Let's get rid of this idiot. Let's make this small, and we'll go look up cast of the Goonies today. This is better than CPAC. Who we got here? Oh, I know this kid. Who's this kid? We know this kid. The Goonies turns 30. Where are they now? Okay. So what do we got? Okay. So, Sean Astin. Of course. Oh, yeah. Yes. Turtles. Okay. I just didn't know Sean's name. I love him. He was a big brother. Okay. Chunk. Okay, he was the fat kid. He does not look fat now. Okay. He went to Berkeley and then on to law school. He's also a writer. Corey Feldman. Wow, Corey looks different. So him and Corey Haim. I don't know anything about her. Martha Plimpton was in it. I remember Martha Plimpton. Most recently, Stranger Things. He was in the Goonies. Jonathan Key Kwan, he was Data in this. So he was on Head of the Class. Encino Man, which they're classifying as an indie movie. Sloth was his name. I'm sorry if somebody had already said that. But he was an ex-football star from the Houston Oilers and the Washington Redskins, now known as the Washington football team. Okay. He was in other movies, including North Dallas 40, which was a football movie. Anne Ramsey, she's got to be gone by now. Yeah. She died shortly after Goonies. Oh. She's also, of course, Mama in Throw Mama from the Train. Different movie. It's a Money Train. That was Wesley Snipes or something, I think. Throw Mama, my favorite. I love the scene in Throw Mama from the Train where it's, "Who's that? This is my friend, Mama. You don't have any friends." What a great mother. We gotta watch. I haven't seen Throw Mama from the Train in so long. I've almost forgotten the plot to it, but I mean the plot is sort of titular, isn't it? I loved her. Of course, Robert Davi and Joe. How do you say his last name? Pantoliano, the classic bad guys. Joe is in everything. He should. He was, of course, he was one of the bad guys in The Matrix. Risky Business, Memento. He was fantastic in Memento. Sense8, I haven't watched, but everybody tells me that we should watch Sense8. Should we just do like a nightly Zoom show? We can start up a series. I'm already out. Scotchy. Owen! I loved Throw Mama from the Train. I can't really even explain why. Was she in Planes, Trains, or is that just is that a non sequitur? Who was in Planes, Trains? To whom are you referring? We're gonna watch Throw Mama. Maybe Friday we'll watch Throw Mama. We got to watch Memento at some point too. Somebody start making a list. Throw Mama is a comedic Strangers on a Train. Judges agree. Two of them are big Strangers of the Train fan. It's a coffee table book.
He wasn't.
Don't! You're gonna ruin that for me. I remember. See, I'd totally forgotten that until you said that, HB Radke. Memento is good, and because you've never seen it at random, we're gonna watch it in reverse. For those of you who have seen it, you might get that, and then later today you're gonna think about it, and you're gonna, no, I don't. What? But if no on Planes, Trains, you don't. Oh, it's a fave. Planes and Trains are a fave, or no, we shouldn't watch Planes and Trains. Dennis, you got to join us for our Friday night movies if you're not busy. I imagine a man of, oh, what's the expression I'm looking for? I was gonna say a man of means because I've got the different strokes theme in my brain.
Never afraid.
A man of, what is Dennis? Dennis is a man of, not, what's the man on the town. A man about the town is one of the phrases, but something like a man of, a gentleman's gentleman. He's a man of, man of stature. That's good enough. That's not the phrase I'm looking for, but that's good enough. There's a phrase that sort of encompasses, you see Dennis walking along. I can picture Dennis walking along the streets of Long Beach with a top hat and a cane. Good day to you, ma'am. Bon vivant. Yes, Dennis is a bon vivant. So if Dennis, if you're not busy on a Friday night, you should come join us. If you're not busy bon vivanting or gallivanting, since it's Friday night, a man of distinction.
To tell people the truth. He did what the people of Mitchell County expected.
Oh yeah, we're watching CPAC too. That's also what we're doing. Welcome aboard, everybody. This is the LieStream. We chat truth to power. Today it's a Saturday, so really our brains are off. It's the weekend, and so we're talking primarily about Goonies and or Danny DeVito movies.
Of him.
Okay, we'll watch Planes, Trains. Will you join us? Well, Dennis, will you grace us with your bon vivanting and your bon ivoring if we watch? No, not Renaissance. You are a Renaissance man. You truly are. But more than that, Renaissance being a little too archaic for what I'm saying, but like a phrase that was popular with the Fitzgeralds. You know what I'm saying? I have not seen. Oh, this is. I just got it, HB. HB says, boy, Kevin Spacey has let himself go. I believe he's referring to Pompeo.
Respected them. Second, the lesson from the gin problem is that plans change, things happen. We don't always see it going exactly the way we want, but we should never give up. We should
Also, don't be a criminal. Also that.
Always be true to ourselves, and we will succeed at all of it if we do.
So keep donating. There were rumors of him making a 2024 presidential run, but that's only if Trump won in 2020. I don't think he's got any panache to him. A man of panache is what Dennis has. Excess panache. He could, if he wanted to, donate to the campaign for Pompeo, but he would not. He's got nothing. He's got no charisma. This man walks into the room and literally sucks the charisma out of it. Bon Joviing. Dennis, you actually could Bon Jovi. Did you, when you were doing the guitar sets there at the Space Place at Disneyland, was there any Bon Joviing involved in that? I do remember the one song I remember you guys doing. So Dennis used to be in a band at Disneyland where he played the guitar, the keytar, which I was always impressed by, because I can do this. I can't. This is weird to me. A guitar makes sense, but a keytar, it blows my mind. That's a level above what I'm capable of. Actually, if you've seen me play the keyboards, 2 levels above what I'm capable of. But they used to do sets. They used to perform in front of what used to be Mission to Mars 1,000 years ago. Very close to what is now, what's the space coaster? Mission to Mars. No, Space Mountain. So they used to do these sets. They used to come out and they were in silver jumpsuits, as everyone thought that we would be wearing today in the future. And they would come out and they would do that, give me Wild West, give me safe sex. Except, didn't you have to change the words to safe sex because it was Disneyland or something? That's the only song I remember you guys performing. But did you do any Bon Jovi? Did you guys do Living on a Prayer? I was in an episode of Grimm that was called Dying on a Prayer, and I knew I was going to book it because the week before, after I had auditioned and they'd sent me the script, I was forced to sing Living on a Prayer in a karaoke session in the Tri-Cities, Washington. A little bit of trivia you can never, ever use. As long as that's what we're doing today, according to Pompeo. My grandfather built a still in his barn. He called his horse Nessie. And I think the lesson there...
Grandpa Earl knew, too, that facts...
Okay, so here we go. Back to the ground. I thought we were done. I thought we were done with that. But here we are, traveling back to Kansas. A little bit of trivia that you can use because this boggles my mind and I love it. This is a true story. The first 2 automobiles in Kansas, there were 2 in the entire state. The first 2 cars in Kansas that existed hit each other. The whole state, they had an accident. Pay your insurance, folks.
Mattered. So today I'm going to arm you with some facts, some accomplishments from these past 4 years.
The Super's a fantastic movie. And of course, Cousin Vinny. The 2 Utes. Give me, save, hey. So because it was Disneyland, they made Dennis say, give me, save, hey. Or no, or maybe they said, give me, hey, sex. Because you couldn't have safe sex. This is the 80s, people. Give me, AIDS, sex. Don't. Do not. Here we go.
How we protected every one of you and our great Bill of Rights at every turn.
Yeah, if you want to be part of, if they're willing to let you in, there's some sort of chat room that they have on Twitter. So the people in this chat room also chat kind of all day long on Twitter, sending each other interesting tidbits. So if you want to be part of that, just say so in this chat room now, and then you guys can connect. I don't moderate that.
And what's good news today for me is when you're a diplomat, when you...
Yes, I do remember you guys singing Ghostbusters. Weird Science. Yeah, that Weird Science was the one song that really made sense with you guys dressed in your silver jumpsuits. Rhythm is Gonna Get You. I do not remember that at all.
70th Secretary of State, you have to stay in your lane. I don't have that. I'm not a diplomat. I'm going to let it rip. So look, where did we begin? We began with you. We began with workers all across America who we put back to work. We put back to work women. We put back to African Americans, Asians, Hispanics, everyone. Everyone was back working. We did that. President Trump did that. Our team.
Oh, no, I remember the song. I remember the Rhythm is Gonna Get You song. I don't remember you guys performing it. Not that I stood out there and watched you guys, but I was playing characters, and the characters would sometimes be sent over to Space Place when they were performing. Was it called Space Place or just called Mission to Mars? What was your stage there called? How was it referred to in the Disney lexicon?
Understood that this mattered.
Yeah, he just said, Mike Pompeo just said, I'm going to let it rip.
We focused on the economy that put Americans back to work. We did it by also securing our borders, giving Americans the chance to make a good wage and a chance to take care of their families. And we also, I'm from Kansas, don't forget, we built American energy jobs too. We rolled back regulations on job creators, and we wanted everyone to take risk and grow their business and create opportunity for people all across America.
Hey,
I heard this time and time again. I remember I ran for Congress in 2010 when President Obama was in office. Employers and workers had both lost confidence. We restored that confidence. They knew we had their back, and we knew we'd support them, not burden them. We wanted them to be successful. We were...
Right, remember how Obama didn't want people to be successful. So he brought unemployment down from like 13% to 5%. Remember how he hated the economy?
The hallmark of our work here in America was that we were bold and fearless. And when I hear today, I hear Democrats pretend they care about jobs in America. But before the seats were warm in the Oval Office, they destroyed 10,000 jobs in a pipeline. You know, and I see, too, my predecessor's predecessor.
35 permanent jobs, by the way, of those 10,000 jobs that we're not sure they would ever happen. 35, not 3,500, 35 permanent jobs. The other just construction, temp jobs. Just wait till we get an infrastructure bill, not an infrastructure week, an actual infrastructure bill through Congress. That's going to have millions and millions of construction jobs. Yes, so Americans could make a good wage picking strawberries and cleaning bathrooms. That's exactly what they want. Nothing wrong with cleaning strawberries or picking bathrooms. I pick bathrooms all the time.
Green geek John Kerry. Right, he thinks these folks are all going to be geek. See, too, my...
That's his insult. Here it comes. This is why he can't be president. He can't be the Republican candidate because he's not good with the name calling. Watch, he's going to nail John Kerry here. Ready?
Predecessor's predecessor, green geek John Kerry.
Oh, green geek John Kerry. Woo! Zinger! Right now, John Kerry's just at home. He called me a green. And his wife's like, no, that was John Kerry. That's a different guy.
Predecessor's predecessor, green geek John Kerry.
Green geek gong Kerry.
Right, he thinks these folks are all going to...
The audience is like, should we laugh? Was that something, or what is the response we have here? Somebody turn on the sign. There's no laughter sign. You know, they have applause and laughter at the studios. There's no laughter sign at CPAC. It's just smirk. Scoff. They have a big sign scoffing. If you ever watch the TV shows, and I do sometimes, and you put on the closed captioning because you're getting old, you can't hear words anymore, you'll be surprised how often people on television and movies scoff. You don't notice it. You do not notice it when you're just listening, but when you read what they're doing, they're actually scoffing. There's a lot of scoffing going on.
I'm going to go make solar panels. I'll tell you what.
That's what I need in my career. To be more successful, I have to learn to scoff better.
Ask the good people of Midland, Texas, Oklahoma, or Kansas, or South Dakota, or Pennsylvania. You think petroleum engineers and rig hands are going to go out and make solar panels? No, and you can bet this too, those cheap Chinese solar panels will start flooding into America like you have not seen. And this won't be good for the United States of America. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes...
Because we don't want energy independence. There you go. Glad we got it here.
We get accused of saying we don't care about the environment. We create jobs that destroy the environment. That's just not true. We simply didn't do it. We didn't protect the environment on the backs of American workers. There were more job openings than people looking for work for much of these past 4 years. It was an amazing accomplishment. And when the Chinese wanted to come steal your job, we just said no way.
And yet with all those 7.2 million open positions, we pretty much shut down immigration. No green cards. No, we're just talking refugees. We're going to strip that right down. All of these companies begging for workers, 7.2 million workers and only 4 million available workers. But we're not letting anybody in because immigration's bad. That is why Trump handcuffed the economy. That is why job growth slowed under Trump before the coronavirus. He mishandled the coronavirus, a different story. Job growth slowed. Contraction. We had contraction in manufacturing.
40 years, bipartisan, Democrat and Republican, 40 years of failure. Letting made in China crush us was going to stop. We demanded fair and reciprocal trade. Never forget, too, China depends more for us than we do on them. President Trump understood that, our foreign policy understood that, and we protected the American worker from the Chinese Communist
American Weka. And the American Wookiees. And the American Ewoks. The unemployment amongst the Ewoks was like never before.
Party's predation on us here in America. Now, my job often took me overseas. We protected...
Guys, what's the best Star Wars movie? Of all the Star Wars movie, what's the best one?
Our freedom abroad. We kind of did it like Grandpa Earl did. We were honest, hardworking. We treated the world as it is, not as we wished it were. We weren't going to live in fantasy land. I will tell you, I walked out of some very quiet rooms in Europe.
Okay.
We had a restrained foreign policy, but when the time came, when the situation so required, we led. We came hard. We came heavy. I sent messages repeatedly.
Todd, why Empire? Why is Empire the best Star Wars?
To bad guys around the world that if you touch an American, you'll pay dearly. Now,
LP chiming in on the best Star Wars. LP, Lindsay, has never seen Star Wars. We've had this conversation before. She's never seen Star Wars. She's never seen a Harry Potter. She's never seen a Star Trek. She's never seen a movie. She does not even have the internet.
now we all know
HB's trying to start a fight saying the prequels are so awesome.
that strength deters
He did come heavy wherever he went, garden expression.
bad guys. Weakness begets war.
That's a fat joke.
And we want to stay out of wars. And we did. I was with the president so many trips, and he would tell his counterparts across the world, he would say, look, I'm going to put America first as the president of the United States, and I expect you will put your country and your people first. And we'll work together and accomplish this for both of our countries. And we did that.
And every single leader looked back across the table and said, yeah. And then their Secretary of State, they scoffed. Yeah. I want you to put your country first, and I'm going to put my country first. Is it, am I missing something in translation here? Do they not?
You know, America first is right for America. It's right for each of us. America first secures our freedom, and the entire world benefits when America is fearless and bold and strong. Let me just tick through a few ways, right? So first, we show up, Paris Climate Accord. It was a job-destroying joke, so we said au revoir.
A what? Is he drunk right now? Did he go out on Friday night? Listen to what he says here. A job-destroying joke is what he's trying to say.
Paris Climate Accord. It was a job-destroying joke, so we said au revoir.
A job-destroying? He's drunk right now. A job? I need a job. Right now I'm on unenjoyment.
So first, we show up, Paris Climate Accord. It was a job-destroying joke, so we said au revoir.
Oh, I see. That's French. He's using French through that whole sentence, I guess. A job-destroying joke, ça veut dire au revoir, Jacques.
Yeah.
Allons-y, gaiement.
Look, we all want clean air, safe
He's scoffing.
drinking water, but the Paris Agreement was a fantasy for elite diplomats who just wanted to virtue signal. And when President Biden re-entered this deal, I can tell you that Xi Jinping was smiling every single...
Number one stupidest phrase in the modern lexicon, virtue signaling. I can't even say it. I'm a job destroyer. Virtue signaling. Judges agree. It's just an idiotic thing to say. Well, you know, my mother was a Lutheran minister. Oh, don't you virtue signal. I'm not virtue signaling. What? I don't even know what that means. You said you're good. You're good. Well, you asked me a question. I explained my mother was a Lutheran minister, and I'm just...
Single minute. And the American work...
Someone in here can virtue... Phyllis Hatch is now the donor who's responsible for the Hatch Library in Kenya, in rural Kenya. Phyllis, you're allowed to virtue signal all you want.
Lost. We too spent a lot of time. We defended America in the Middle East, and we defended Israel in the Middle East too. We were told a number of things. Right? This was what establishment foreign policy meant. It says we were told that you can't sanction the Ayatollah in Iran And you can't stop sending pallets of gas to the leadership.
Pallets of gash? Sounds like my Friday night. Hey-o! Come on, that's what I was looking for. That's the phrase I was looking for with Dennis. Dennis is a man of pallets of gash. Pallets of gash. He's drunk. He's not usually this inarticulate.
Ayatollah in Iran. And you can't foreign policy, but it says
he was told he wasn't allowed to send pallets of gash.
you were told that you can't sanction the Ayatollah in Iran. And you can't stop sending pallets of gas to the leadership. There'll be a war.
Certainly curry their favor.
Well, we did, and there wasn't a war. We were told you can't move the United States Embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. There'll be a war. Well, we did, and there was not a war.
I don't remember anyone saying there'd be a war, but people died. You're welcome, Allison.
We were told you can't allow Israel to have its rights in Judea and Samaria and the Golan Heights. There'll be war. Well, we did that. We righted that, and there was no war. We told.
Sean says, fun fact, gash is a Royal Navy term for rubbish. Rubbish is also Sean's favorite term in England. It's Cockney slang for a woman's privacy, which is why Sean is single. Hey, love, how about I get myself up in your rubbish? That would get a scoff. That would get a Cockney scoff.
We were told, and this was believed for a long time, that you can't secure peace in the...
Pallets of Gash is a fantastic band name. Dennis, if you're thinking of putting one together, I'm in. As long as it's called Pallets of Gash. What would be the name of the first album, people?
Region in the Middle East, between Arab nations and Israel, without buying off Palestinian kleptocrats. You'll create...
Drobs. That's not the best one, but that made me giggle. But yeah, have at it.
World War III.
Yeah, Sean, you're single. We know. It's obvious. I sleep alone without any pallets of gash. I would take a plate of gash at this point.
But we did. The Abraham Accords forged a real peace in the Middle East.
Remember the Middle East, where the guy, he killed one of our journalists, cut him up with a bone saw? We got peace with him. Anyway, hold on. Oh my God, he's WhatsApping me right now.
Thank you. The Abraham Accords rewrote decades of failed shuttle negotiations because...
He's just settling in. Now they like him. Now he's one of the good old boys. Uh-oh. Oh, well, he's gone now. Oh, no, he's back. Hold on.
We were willing to go against the elites of the foreign policy established both left and right to secure American freedom and to champion your values.
Now I've got him. He's thinking, yeah, I'm clapping and they're clapping. They're just like gashing my hands.
It's unfortunate. Looks like the new Team Biden, appears to be headed back into appeasing Iran.
Now Lindsay's hitting on Sean in the chat room. Sean, be careful. She will get bored of you in 10 minutes.
This will be a disaster for the United States of America and a disaster for the region as well. I remember too.
Is this about your grandpa?
President Trump sent me to Pyongyang when I was a CIA director to meet with Chairman Kim to prepare for the historic summit that was ultimately held in Singapore. You all remember this. We threatened fire and fury. We threatened fire and fury not to go to war, but to deter it, and deter it we did.
You are deterred. You are deterred.
Since those two summits, one in...
Yeah, he was CIA director for a while.
Singapore, one in Hanoi.
Before he became Secretary of State, because Trump fired Tillerson after talking him up for so long.
The North Koreans haven't tested a long-range ballistic missile, and they haven't tested their nuclear weapons. Exactly 0 tests have been conducted.
Now, okay. They've been testing their short-range ballistic missiles, and they've developed a new longer-range ballistic missile. By the way, they weren't testing long-range ballistic missiles to begin with. They didn't have ICBMs. Now they theoretically do. One's capable of carrying 5 warheads and circumventing our defenses in Alaska. But yeah, no. Good job, Gash.
That's real foreign policy.
Oh, yeah, no, HB is correct. Typically, you don't send members of the Central Intelligence Agencies to foreign countries. Yeah, we'd like to send one of our spies to your country. It's going to be a big meeting. Hope you guys like noodles.
It was humbling too, because it was the second trip, I had the chance to bring home American hostages from Pyongyang, 3 men at 3 o'clock in the morning. And America first always means never forgetting about our warriors. There was no greater honor too than the fact that we brought back other Americans like Pastor Brunson, who stayed in Turkey, detained wrongfully for just far too long. And we brought back so many remains of our fallen in Korea as well. This was amazing and right.
That was a temporary shipment of remains, and I believe it stopped. The remains at some point? Somebody out there, Snopes has probably fact checked this or something like that. They sent them they sent over a few bones theoretically of American service people who had died in the Korean War, and then just sort of stopped that.
Right, and America first. So how many of you remember Qasem Soleimani, Allah rest his soul? This was the Iranian general who was trying to...
But that was a poke on Islam, by the way, calling Allah rest his soul instead of God rest his soul. If a Democrat said that, Fox News would be on fire right now. Hi, Chris Wilson.
Caused trouble for America. He was on a mission to harm Americans, but we were a few steps ahead of him. So in the end, he didn't cause trouble for Americans or anyone else ever again. Do you know that?
Well, I mean, apart from the retaliatory strike where dozens of American servicemen, the ones we always put first in America first, apart from them with their brain injuries sustained from the attack, apart from that, no, didn't cause any trouble for anybody.
To this day, most of the liberals and most of the folks on T-Bite still won't acknowledge that ridding the world of an American...
Most of the folks on T-Bite? What is he saying?
Most of the liberals and most of the folks on T-Bite still won't acknowledge that ridding...
Does anyone? Most of the folks on T-Bite? Are there closed captions on here? Hold on. English, click. Okay, so let's see if the closed caption person knows. I don't think there are closed captions on here.
You know that to this day, most of the liberals and most of the folks on T-Bite still won't acknowledge that ridding the world...
What is T-Bite? Is he trying to say Twitter or TV? Does anybody know what T-Bite is?
...world of an America hitting terrorists was a good thing. This is fantasy. Look, we drew a red line when the Syrians gassed children and women. And we told them, don't do that again. And when they crossed it, President Trump ordered 70 plus beautiful American-made Tomahawk missiles to let them know that we weren't going to allow them to kill women and children.
Yeah, just like Joe Biden when they killed an American contractor and then he bombed parts of Syria. Yeah, same, right?
America first takes real courage, takes a Secretary of State willing to walk into a room and tell it like it is, and a president who'll have his back. We had that.
Okay, that's virtue signaling. He just said that he has real courage. You don't say that you have real courage. Just no one has ever said that. I'm good at my job because I have a lot of courage, said the lion.
Speaking of backs, Speaking of backs, I hear President Biden saying, America's back.
Speaking of backs.
Speaking of backs. Speaking of backs,
Were we talking about backs?
I hear President Biden saying, America's back. Back to what? So, right.
Better than America's gash. Hi, Kim.
Back to pallets of cash to the Ayatollah so he can build
pallets of gash. Get it right.
missiles that threaten us. Back to apologizing when Iranians tell our soldiers and sailors to take to their knees at gunpoint. Back to President Biden killing a pipeline. Back to all the things.
That sounds like the worst porn. Back to President Biden killing pipeline. Yeah. Did somebody order some killing pipeline? We're here to kill some pipeline. Oh, come on in. I've been waiting for you. My pipes they need killing. Zip. Bow. Bow. Bow.
Things that put America at risk. Back to supporting a pipeline in Europe that'll create European jobs. This is not where.
See, at Randoms is just gonna say this. Gash talk is not going to get you remonetized. I don't care as long as I keep getting that sweet YouTube gash.
We want to go back to any time at all, and we certainly don't want to go back to letting China have trade deals that kill our jobs right here in America. We can't afford it. We can't afford it. It's not the right thing, and we don't have to do it. We must be bold, and we must always put America first. You know, we spent a lot of time talking about being canceled. I was really happy that this is being aired on television, not canceled, at least for the moment. We worked tirelessly with great success to deliver on our values, American values that have made this such a special, unique nation. Look, this country was built on what our founders understood and then the Bill of Rights that came behind that Constitution. They built a nation recognizing that our rights come from our Creator and not from any government. Our union becomes more perfect every time we defend our sovereignty and we defend our borders. And I'm proud that we were the most pro-life administration in the history of the United States of America.
I mean, apart from all those people we put to death, apart from them. The month is up, I think, on the 3rd or the 4th, and then I can ask to get remonetized. Here's something we can take a look at. Sarah Carter, award-winning investigative journalist, she's on Hannity constantly. Jody Heiss, they had a seminar this morning called "Who's the Boss? Where's My Applesauce? Who's really running the Biden administration?" There's this theme among the conservatives. It's sad. I don't want to call them, I'm just calling them Tea Partiers or the Trumpettes. I don't, like, conservatives are something different than what we're seeing now in that party. Where's my applesauce? That's what they think President Biden. So the guy who is so out of it that all he cares about is where his applesauce is, he beat Trump. They always leave that part out of it. Let's look at the keynotes today. Kristi Noem comes up a little bit later, but she's not keynote. Boy, who is? Trump's tomorrow. I'm just looking down the schedule for today. Hi, here we go at 4:30. So you've been deplatformed. What now? Jeff Brain with Cloud Hub. He sounds smart. Nothing. I don't even know what we're gonna watch when I come back at 1 o'clock. This is it. Pompeo or Kristi Noem. Maybe we'll watch Kristi Noem. 1:30. That's 1:50. She's not gonna come on early. Wow. There's nobody there. Marco Rubio was supposed to speak today. He canceled. A family issue. He really doesn't like the Trump family. Marco Rubio canceled on CPAC. That's where CPAC is now. Wow. I want applesauce and potato latkes. Anyone? Did we decide what the best Star Wars is? I think Todd's right. I think Empire was my favorite of the Star Wars. I honestly saw the last one just like last year or whatever it was, and I don't really remember much of it.
It was my job to deny that.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is what we're gonna watch. We're gonna okay. Oh, we got a good one. At 1:50, which has already happened, so we'll be able to watch that. Try and figure out where it is. They are having a discussion on the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, featuring Andy Biggs, Republican from Arizona, and Lauren Boebert, everyone's favorite, the new Congresswoman from Colorado. So we're going to watch that at 1 o'clock. Pacific time.
Taxpayer dollars from any hardworking America ever went to perform an abortion any place in the world, and we promoted adoption everywhere and always. And don't forget, too, President Trump appointed an awful lot of judges that understand the words life and liberty and that words that have real meaning.
And just keep turning his court cases down. A lot of those judges.
I worked for the Mexican government, my counterpart, Foreign Minister of Mexico and its president, to secure our borders. We worked hard, too, to make sure that drugs and other things didn't traffic across that border, and that meant, too, protecting your right to own firearms. Our Second Amendment matters. It builds communities, it builds strong families, and it makes sure each of us...
Guns build communities and strong families.
...has the right to defend ourselves precisely as our founders intended. You know, I'm always stunned.
That's a scoff. He just scoffed.
Liberals pretend to care about the poor and then side with the union bosses against the workers. They pretend to stand for children while kids in Democrat-led inner cities aren't in front of computers like they think they are. They're struggling to figure out how to stay safe from drug lords and how to get a meal. That's not good leadership. It's not America First leadership. It's not taking care of those people you're charged with protecting.
Okay, do you want to talk to your other Republicans about passing the bill that's going to provide the kids who have no food with food? Do you want to talk to them about that? Do you want to talk about raising the minimum wage so that full-time workers are no longer living below the poverty line and they can feed their fucking children? Would you like to talk about that, or are you just going to criticize the Democrats for siding with the union bosses over the union workers? You know, the Democrats who want the teachers to get vaccinated.
And we need to get every one of our children back in school. And we need to get them back in now.
That would be great. I am all for kids in school. And safe teachers. All of it.
I was a soldier about 25, 30 years ago, and about 100 pounds ago, too. And when I hear Democrats say they want a strong America, I know that they are working to undermine it. Sadly.
Really? That is sad that you would think that. Tell me why. Why are they working to under... How do you know that? Because Biden just bombed Syria to protect Americans. So, but go on. Tell me how Biden can't find his applesauce, so he's launching missiles.
My word.
Sorry, missiles.
They're going to gut the defense budget that we worked so hard to build. They'll do it to pay for their Green New Deal. It kind of makes me mad, right? They're going to trade Army green for AOC green. That is a bad trade. And as I said before, our young men and women, we don't want to put them in harm's way. We don't want them to go to war. But when we're weak at home, when we don't stand up for our military, the risk of war increases when deterrence fades. We cannot let that happen. They want to defund the police while they barricade the Capitol. This is backwards.
Joe Biden doesn't want to defund the police. They've made that clear. Take a look at the money being sent to states and cities, because that's how you fund the police. And it hasn't received a single Republican vote in the House. Probably won't in the Senate. Tell me again about who's defunding the police.
And canceling our freedom to assemble peacefully while censoring our communications online is completely antithetical.
Okay, well, the Democrats are not doing that. No Democrat is censoring your ability to communicate online. This is really, is this a CPAC is just about complaining about Twitter?
To what our founders
it's really, really pathetic.
Understood about America. It reminds me,
Does it?
when I headed off to West Point, my parents couldn't afford to fly to New York. I grew up in Southern California. So they left me at the airport. My mother was happy and all kinds
He was 7.
of feelings. She was my mother was a cigarette smoking high school graduate who was the most decent and toughest woman I've ever met.
Okay.
She said, Mike, she pulled me aside. I think she didn't want my dad to hear
This
this.
better not be a story about Gash.
She said, Michael, I know you're a grinder. Don't ever let them
Mike, I know you're on Grindr.
wear you down.
That's where Pompeo got his money.
Wear them down. I've never forgotten what my mom told me that day. We'll all remember it. Keep grinding, keep championing American values.
Oh.
One more story. Smartest, best officer that I ever came to know.
I never forget when my mom told me, keep grinding.
He worked closely with me as a former Air Force Special Operations officer. I'd ask him about someone who was working on our team, and I'd say, what do you think of him, or what do you think of her? And he'd say, love that guy, pipe hitter.
What? Pipe hitter?
You know what he meant? Love that guy, pipe hitter.
What is he saying?
Someone who was working on our team, and I'd say, what do you think of him, or what do you think of her? And he'd say, love that guy, pipe hitter.
Is it pipe hitter? All this pipe hitting and killing pipe and gash talk.
You know what he meant? He meant that person got stuff done. They were a grinder. They kept banging away.
Pipe hitter? Pipe hitter? Pipe? They were a grinder. They kept banging away. At a pipe? Maybe pipe hitter. Maybe he's trying to say pipe hitter.
You all know these 4 years are going to test us.
Again, terrible porno.
I need each of you to be a pipe hitter.
Oh, pipe hitter. He is saying pipe hitter.
Get stuff done.
I'll be a pipe hitter. I'd be happy to be a pipe hitter.
Keep grinding. Be a pipe
Yeah, I
hitter.
will. As soon as I get that vaccine.
Be a pipe hitter at church.
Be a pipe hitter at church. That's the title of our first album. Pallets of Gash has just released their first album on the Sony record label, Be a Pipe Hitter at Church.
Right.
Pipe hitting the priest. He must be Catholic. Hit that pipe, kids!
Be a pipe hitter at church. Be a pipe hitter at your PTA meeting. Don't let them bring crazy into your classroom.
I'll tell you what. PTA meetings should only be handled after hitting the pipe.
Be a pipe hitter at your VFW.
I
Lead
bet.
the team to continue to
Hey, that's medicinal. That's fine. We should not make fun of that, and God bless him.
support our military warriors. Be a pipe hitter. Be a pipe hitter when they tell you they're closing the mine or the factory because of some green vision.
Be a pipe hitter because of some green vision. It writes itself.
Keep it open.
Yeah.
President Reagan,
Open up that third eye, kids. Yeah.
a real pipe hitter.
Oh, yeah. President Reagan
got
was a
stuff
pipe
done. He
hitter.
once said, if we lose freedom here, if we lose
Take down that wall, Gorby. Take it down, man. Who's got Doritos?
freedom here, there is no place to escape. This is the last stand on earth. I saw that. I saw
What?
that as your Secretary of State as I traveled all around the world. And I am confident that he was right. I am confident that the American star will shine across the heavens so long as we keep a proper understanding of our God-given rights at the center of who we are, and we keep up our quest to secure our freedom for our own people and for all of mankind. I'll be with you in the fight. God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
So as he's doing all that pipe hitting stuff, I just happen to have a couple of headlamps on my desk here. This for my old Prius. I don't have it anymore. But I was looking at this going, oh my God, look at that shape. There's a pipe right there. I could take that out and I could be a pipe hitter. I thought, oh, but if I take them out, here's the thing with headlamps. If you don't know, if you've never replaced your own headlamps, you can't touch the glass on a headlamp with your fingers. What'll happen is it'll heat up and it'll explode from the grease on your fingers. So never touch the glass in a headlamp with your bare fingers. And I knew, had I tried to do that, I would be touchy because I'd have to put that end right there in my mouth, and that would get this part, and I'd ruin some headlamps. And would it be worth it to ruin the headlamps? And now that I think about it, yes, because of how much I care about you folks. And because I care about you folks, I'm going to be back in about an hour. So we'll be doing this again around 1 o'clock. Join us then. I'm not even going to do the credits, but I got to run and do something right now. And then around 1 o'clock, we'll be back and we'll have a little more fun. Hopefully, we'll be able to find the Lauren Boebert and Andy Biggs right to bear arms. And I bet you anything she's wearing no sleeves. So we'll do that at 1 o'clock Pacific time, about an hour from now. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Enjoy your gash.